What's up, and welcome back to the Run the North podcast. I don't know who I am. That's Miller. We're broken. There's no Jake. Dude's busy with life, I guess. What a bozo. Uh, he said he was going to yell at me, and then he ran away. His Twitter fingers were working, and then he got scared of the moment.
To be fair, though, he had grounds to yell at you because what you said was baseless and incorrect about Drew
Then why
Lock.
didn't you call me out about it? Oh, that's right, because I'm right, because Drew Lock's ass.
I did!
I don't know what your guys' obsession is with defending the 54th best quarterback in the league.
No, I think that's pushing it.
I don't. I also totally just randomly grabbed a number, but I'm going to stick by it. I don't care.
I think he's at least in the top 40.
I don't.
He'd be the best backup in our division.
I mean, is he that much better than Nick Mullins, or is he just swaggier?
I trust him more than Nick Mullins.
I don't.
Locke has ice in his veins.
False. Also, I don't know. Nick Mullins is the only one to, play well. Drew Lock played well once.
Oh, you said play well. Never mind. I thought you were going to say play.
No, play well. The Lions used to have the best.
Yeah,
but he retired.
And now they've got Hendon Hooker.
Hey, maybe he's the GOAT, though. You ever consider that?
He just changed his number to 2.
Why?
That's the only reason why I remembered he existed.
What else is there? The North is tough. Well, you see, the Vikings are about to have the best backup when Sam Darnold becomes a backup.
To Jaden Daniels.
I'd be down. But it's going to be Drake May.
Fields. It's not going to be Drake May.
It's going to be Drake May.
He's going to.
I don't know what... Dude, I don't know why you just assume NFL teams always just pick the guy you think is best when most of the time they don't.
I'm telling you, I don't see why they would think Jaden Daniels is better than Drake.
I don't see why the entire world telling me they see Jaden Daniels is better means... Dude, you're just believing what you want to believe while the entire world tells you you're wrong.
I have my opinions. You have yours.
It's not about me having an opinion. It's me agreeing with the entirety of the world.
Cheap.
I also keep seeing people. This is why. This is what we were talking about.
Free thinkers when they see an Adam Schefter tweet.
Nah. See, I don't. When have I ever looked at an Adam Schefter tweet? What are you talking about? No. That's what I wanted to get into. I keep seeing people say that JJ is gonna go before Drake May now, and I'm really beginning to question if this is just Will Levis again. And JJ is about to fall. He won't fall like Levis.
I was going to say, he'll be a first-round pick.
Oh, he'll go...
see a world where he starts to slip.
He'll go 11, 12, or 13 if he's actually slipping.
Yeah.
He'll hit Vikings, Broncos, Raiders, somewhere in there.
Absolutely.
Oh unless the Vikings trade up freaking out about it. Like... The Vikings trade up to 4, just like, nah, he's ours. We don't care. Because there's also a world where the Raiders could, jump up to 8 with the Falcons and be like, nah, ours. So I could see the Vikings just trying to jump the gun.
Since we're talking on the world of insiders, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard did you see that Sears Tower guy that was on Bears Twitter for a little while and started tweeting about every other team under the sun?
Yeah.
And got, everything right?
Yeah.
So no one knows who he is. There's some theories out there, but the common belief is that he's somebody that worked for the Bears and very recently stopped working for the Bears for one reason or another, which kind of got supported last night when he said that he had a history with Greg Gabriel, who used to be a Bears scout that's a douchebag, and then deactivated his account after getting into a kerfuffle with Greg Gabriel. But the reason I bring him up is because he's, like I said, he's hit on everything. There was one report he was wrong about, and even then he had a pretty clear, this is why it didn't happen type of thing that makes a lot of sense. It was the whole L'Jarius Sneed to the Colts thing that I was joking about with you and Jake. He reported that, and then he was like, well, Chris Ballard's being stingy with the guarantees because if you trade for him, you got to extend him. and now it's turning into, they're not going to go after him because they're not going to be able to get a deal done. But he reported that a lot of teams are high on JJ McCarthy, and he said that the Vikings are infatuated with JJ.
I am really beginning to believe it. I keep watching JJ McCarthy, just highlights, trying to talk myself into it.
Viking.
I love Drake May, and Drake May also makes a ton of sense as a Viking for scheme fit reasons and the whole Josh McCown connection, and then the weird Josh McCown Sam Darnold connection where apparently when they were together on the Jets, they watched every Drake May high school game at the Jets facility and like were breaking it down, which it's like, yeah, I think it's a thing where the Vikings know Caleb's not on the board, so they aren't even considering him. He's not real. Like, he's the myth that, like, well, he's in this draft, but he's not in this draft. He's already a Bear. That contract's signed. Whatever. I'm kind of surprised it's not. Like, do the Miami Dolphins Jake Long thing. Jake Long signed with the Dolphins before the draft started.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a little too young to remember that. I didn't know that happened.
But yeah,
that's crazy.
Like, so I'm kind of surprised that's not just a thing. I know the Bears, maybe they are waiting for the Godfather offer because it could have. Okay.
I don't foresee it. I think
don't
right
either.
now.
Okay, but like this is entirely hypothetical and would never happen. But if the Vikings called up with 11-23 the first next year and Justin Jefferson, you take it. Sorry. Like, an offer like that, you can't not, Or like, I don't know, people keep pretending Herbert could be traded. And while I love the idea, 120 million in dead cap is just not a thing that can happen.
I think the only reason it wouldn't be like set in stone is I really do think Ryan Poles isn't the type of GM to just jump at the first offer or jump at the first anything. Right. So I think he's just trying to do his due diligence and go through interviewing all the quarterbacks, seeing what's going on. But really, it's Caleb or maybe a 2-ran race with Caleb and Drake. And like it's not.
I still think the funniest thing of all time would be to take Jaden Daniels. I know it won't happen, but I think just taking Justin Fields again would be funny.
You would never see me on the internet again.
Dude, you'd have his jersey in a day. I don't want to hear it.
Probably. I like to talk myself into things, but no.
Yeah. Trust me, I get it. I am the same way about one guy in this draft. It's the one guy that I just don't want Minnesota to end up with.
Who?
Penix. I don't want it. Not in any world.
Which is so funny because I've seen so many mocks where Minnesota takes him at like 23.
I know. And I genuinely, like, if they draft Penix, I might just, like, quit, run the North, and stop watching football. Like, I hate Penix. I don't think you can convince me he's better than Jordan Travis. You can't.
There goes our Michael Penix on the pod potential.
He might be a great dude. I just, but also, I don't know. If he was on the show, I'd tell him I don't want him to be a Viking. I'm sorry. I don't. But I don't really think he was the guy we were going to get on the show anyways. We're shooting high for Sam Hartman.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I bet we could get Sam Hartman if I tried.
He's
if I put out some feelers. No, but back to the original point. I think JJ would make a lot of sense for the Vikings.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if he starts to fall. I could see Minnesota. You might not even have to give up that other first, depending on how far he starts to slip. Like if he makes it past the Giants.
I see. That's the thing, though. I kind of think we are trading up no matter what.
I think you'll be up to 4. I can see that happening.
4 or 5. Because the Cardinals might just be like, no, we're taking Marvin and we're not moving.
Yeah.
And with Marvin off the board, the Chargers might just be like, well, Brock Bowers' neighbors or Odunze will be there at 11, so we'll go back. We're cool.
I was going to say, and that's the other thing you got to worry about. You have to, if you trade down with Minnesota, if you're a team that needs a receiver, you're going to be behind Chicago. Who is still, even though they just traded for Keenan Allen, they're still very much in play for a receiver. Because Keenan's 32, your number 3 receiver is Tyler Scott, and as much as I like him, he's not like a proven commodity by any means. And you have to trade down past the Jets, who just totally fortified their offensive line and have 1 viable pass catcher, maybe 2 if Mike Williams stays healthy. So it becomes a lot tougher if you're a team that needs a pass catcher to trade down with the Vikings.
Yeah.
Because, one of the three could hypothetically be on the board, but I don't think they would be.
I really do think they would. The Giants are a weird spot.
Yeah.
So, like, the first receiver off the board, unless the Patriots do ridiculous things, I don't think taking Marvin Harrison or Joe Alt is the answer. You either trade out or you pick a quarterback. That's it. You either get a bunch of assets or you just pick the quarterback. You don't pick a receiver at 3 and gain nothing. Like, if you want to call somebody crazy, call them crazy for picking a non-quarterback at 3 with the Patriots. They could trade out, and I would understand that. Get the assets, build up your team, and who knows, maybe the Patriots are one of those teams who, like, I've seen this as a thing, I don't really buy it, but where they have, like, quarterbacks 2 through 5, all very similar. So, like, Nix, McCarthy, Daniels, and May, they're like, we like all of them, so a Godfather offer, we can move out, we can draft another piece, we can draft Bo Nix, and then we have another piece next year, and that's a better move for our team, which is possible.
Right.
But I totally lost what my point was going to be. I got distracted with Patriots.
You were originally talking about the Giants, and then went on the Patriot trade.
Right. Yeah, no. So the Patriots aren't going to go receiver. So if a team moves up to 4, or if not, the first receiver off the board is at 4. Next would be 5 with the Chargers. The Giants need so much. I don't know if receiver's your first move.
It depends on who's there.
The O-line's awful. I mean, is a single receiver better than Alt or Olu? Outside of maybe Marvin?
I was going to say, in some crazy world where Marv slips to 6, I think you just take him.
If Marv slips anywhere, you take him, but there's no way. The lowest Marv could go is 5.
Yeah,
I think.
True.
And that's just if Minnesota trades up to 4 somehow.
Right.
But, yeah. And even
I could see the Giants trading down.
Yeah, I don't know if the Giants want a quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they still got to pay Daniel Jones for another year after this.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't let that stop me from taking a quarterback. Yeah, I guess.
Like, we've seen him make it work, so maybe the answer for them is receiver.
It would depend on who's there and what's available, I would say.
Yeah.
Or, like, what offers they get.
But I don't know if the answer for the Giants is a guy like JJ who you'd prefer to have sit.
Right.
You know? Like, I don't know if that's the pick for them. The Giants, to me, feel like the team that trades back in late for Penix or Nix.
I can see that.
A more mature guy who's, like, more ready day one.
I
keep seeing a lot of people try to tell me people are on drugs during draft season, man, saying JJ is more NFL ready than Drake May. It's like, what? What? You're gonna JJ could start day one. I don't think Drake May could. It's like, what are you on? What?
Right. That's ridiculous.
I mean, no matter what world, I always think it's best to let your rookie sit for a bit. I think that's just the correct way to do it.
Unless you're the Bears this year.
Well, Caleb's also different. But also, in a perfect world, sitting for half a year would be sick.
Well, yeah, sure, but I'm saying the quarterbacks they have on the roster right now, you can't.
No.
Brett Rippon and Tyson Bagent.
Like, even if the Vikings get Drake May, it won't hurt if it's Sam Darnold week 1. That makes sense. Like, even if this is never going to happen, but even if it was Caleb and Sam Darnold started for the first 5 weeks, nobody goes, what the fuck? They go, yeah, okay. Because it really feels like
Caleb, it would be a little bit different.
I don't know. I think so, but it's also like, I don't know, the veteran guy after you made so many like win now free agency moves, you just see what you got. But Caleb also feels like it would be the more CJ Stroud, like this guy's just going to take over with these weapons.
I could see in training camp being like, okay, open battle. Whoever has the better camp, whoever has the better, preseason, whatever. But I don't think week 1 you'd be able to justify starting Darnold over
unless
Caleb.
He just looked that sick in the preseason.
Sure. I mean, if Darnold comes out looking like Brady in preseason.
I was going to say, remember, Shanahan said this is the greatest throw of the football he's ever seen. So,
You know,
Vikings fans have already talked
Shanahan the Shanahan wet dream quarterback. The Vikings starter pipeline is strong.
It's
so.
true. It really is. The funniest thing about that, I think, is Vikings fans talking themselves into Darnold being the full-time starter moving forward. Like, what if we just don't draft a guy? What if Darnold's just special? It's like, man, no. No thanks.
Speaking of Darnold, have you heard not of Darnold, but of Shanahan, have you heard Schefter breaking down the chain of events that was set in motion to get Brock Purdy to the 49ers that involved Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Dude, it's the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Kirk was supposed to be a Niner.
It's so funny. Yeah, so for anyone out there who wasn't aware, starts out the Niners, the year that Kirk's about to enter free agency, they're fully convinced they're just going to sign Kirk.
Yep.
So they don't bother scouting any of the quarterbacks that year. They don't bother going out and getting a quarterback in the draft or free agency the year before. They're just set on Kirk. Then in October, Bill Belichick calls him up and he's like, hey, I got to get rid of Garoppolo. Give me a second rounder. He's yours. They say, okay, we'll take him. Kirk goes to Minnesota in the offseason. They've got Jimmy G. The only quarterback they did their homework on that offseason was CJ.
Uh-oh. We got some lag. I think we're good now. That was weird.
Okay.
We had some lag.
So they trade up to go get Beathard in the third round. They come back, and this is where it gets a little fuzzy for me, because at some point they acquire a comp pick
from CJ Beathard when he left to go to the Jaguars.
I think it's when from Beathard leaving to go to the Jaguars. Yes, Beathard leaves to go to the Jaguars. They get a 7th round comp pick. That pick is the final pick in the 2022 NFL draft. They draft Brock Purdy with the final pick, and then the rest is history, which is fucking insane. Like, chain reactions in football are so fun and crazy. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot it was Beathard. But what's happened since we last talked? We had the Bears traded for Keenan Allen.
Yeah, what thoughts?
Big, epic, love it. Like the perfect complement to DJ Moore.
He's old.
Quarterbacks. He's 32, and his game is not predicated on being athletic. It's predicated on being smart. So, like, as a 2, listen, Keenan Allen's coming off the second best season of his career statistically.
Yeah, because he was the only receiver on the Chargers. That doesn't count.
Okay, but actually, his volume wasn't nearly as high as it has been.
Yeah, because he missed 5 games.
And he was still the second best season of his career.
So his volume in those games that he played was actually higher than ever in his career. He just missed a bunch of time. Yeah, if you're going to try to weasel your way into saying, well, he wasn't that big of a volume guy. Yes, he was. He just missed games. You don't get to cheat.
Okay, Keenan Allen is still a fantastic 2. And for the record, when we were talking about Adam Thielen, we were worried about him being the only receiving threat. That is much different than saying, hey, this guy's playing second fiddle to DJ Moore.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. I know.
So Keenan Allen is your 2 with DJ Moore. They complement each other perfectly. You also have Cole Kmet in there as your third option. You'll probably draft a rookie to be your 3, or you've got Tyler Scott, be whatever. I love it. Give up a 4th round pick. They're going to end up extending him here in the next couple months, I would imagine, to just put an extra year or 2 on his contract. And if nothing else, he can absolutely do what Adam Thielen was doing for Bryce Young last year when Bryce Young was able to throw the football, which is just be open.
Yeah.
And that'll do wonders for Caleb. Like, just have it. Like, he didn't have that at USC. Just having a receiver that's open, just always open, is so big. Because if he can't hit DJ Moore on that crazy downfield post, it's like, oh, Keenan's on the comeback, wide open. I'm just going to hit him real quick.
Did you watch Caleb's pro day?
No, I usually don't watch pro days.
Okay. Apparently Josh McCown was there, which I think is funny. I mean, obviously you got to send somebody, but seeing him there with his little coffee cup, you could tell he's like, I don't know what I'm doing here, man.
Did you see all the people the Bears had there, though?
Yeah, Keenan Allen was there.
Everybody and Keenan Allen. To be fair, Keenan Allen's from LA.
Yeah,
so, like, he didn't have to go very far, which I didn't know I didn't piece that together. Like, he played for the Chargers. I should have known that. But I didn't piece together, like, Keenan Allen didn't have to go very far.
He probably just took an Uber.
Right. Because when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, they flew Keenan Allen out to watch Caleb. That's crazy. And then it's like, no, he probably just, like you said, probably just took a fucking Uber to get there.
He's probably
Still wild
he probably
that he was
has yet
there.
to make it into the building in Chicago.
No, he's been in the building
has
because
he?
they've recorded like videos and stuff with him.
Okay.
The social media team. Yeah, he's got this budding rivalry with Jalen Johnson already. Where because in the Pro Bowl, Jalen Johnson had a big swat on Keenan Allen like in the end zone, and then he jumped up and did like the make it rain, pay me my money celebration. He was like, "I'm ready for round 2, boy. You know you were holding. You know you held me." And he was, he's been talking shit. So, but yeah, I love Keenan Allen in Chicago, and then the Bears traded Fields, which I feel like was so anticlimactic once it happened.
Yeah.
Because there was all this build up, and then it happened. It's like, okay. Like, for someone like me who knew it was coming, it was just like, okay, he's gone. Cool. Let's move on. It wasn't like this big dramatic shift where I was like upset. It was like, okay, cool. Now people will shut up, hopefully. And then they didn't shut up. So now it's like, okay, nothing happened.
Miller, you fucked up.
Why?
You didn't fill out your bracket.
I didn't?
On Sleeper? No. And the
I forgot
tournament's
the
now started?
Sleeper one, so I can't fill it out, can I?
Probably not.
I'm gonna check
Apparently
it.
only 11% of brackets are still perfect. And there have been like 4 games. Did I pick that?
Oh, no, I did fill it out.
Oh, it says you didn't. It says yours is incomplete.
Did I forget to put something in?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't have a tiebreaker set for my championship.
Oh. That I feel like you could still do, right?
Maybe.
I don't know if it'll let you. I'm trying to see who won that I didn't pick, but did I pick Duquesne? I don't know if I did. Maybe I don't have a perfect bracket.
I'm almost positive I didn't. No, I didn't because I picked BYU.
I did pick Duquesne. Let's go. Fuck BYU. I think, at least. I genuinely don't know. It doesn't tell me what I got right and wrong.
Which bracket are you talking about?
The Jake Talk Sports one.
Oh, I was looking at the Run the North one. I can import
There was a Run the
my
North
bracket,
one?
I believe. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't invited to that one.
I think that's I think we all were.
Oh, yeah. And then I said, why are we even using this one? You have another one. Are you changing your bracket? And he went, no. And then I never joined.
Oh, yeah. So the Jake one I can't do anything to, unfortunately. But I'm just going to pretend the Run the North one is the Jake one and just roll with it. Because I think Jake and I are the only people in it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah. No, Fields trade had to happen. I'm happy it happened. Steelers get a high upside quarterback or whatever. I'm so over it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Why does it not show scores for us getting stuff right, but it does for other people? That's weird.
Mm.
Whatever, this place is broken.
Yeah, so we royally screwed the pooch on the whole bracket thing, I think.
Probably.
Unless, yeah.
But I also don't know
is.
enough about college basketball to actually yap about it. I think
I literally
if I
only
have the
follow
best
UNC.
bracket, that's going to be the funniest part because I don't know shit. I straight up was just picking based off vibes. That and like I would read on Sleeper the strengths and weaknesses. So there were a couple times I would like pick a team and then I'd go, wait a minute. This team sucks at perimeter defense and this team shoots the lights out. I'm picking the team that shoots the lights out. Thanks. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, apparently only 11% of brackets are still perfect.
That's tough. Yeah. Yeah, I've got the UNC game on my other monitor,
Nice.
but I don't pay any attention to other teams. I literally just care about Carolina.
That's
I'm
valid.
not gonna lie. But the main thing we're gonna do today, if you're ready to move on.
Was that all the news? I don't think that was all the news.
It definitely wasn't. What else happened?
Let's go see what Ari's got to say. Because Ari normally does like a recap tweet.
Yeah.
Cameron Sutton
Oh yeah, he got
is
cut.
a garbage
Good.
person. Did he? Let's go.
The Lions actually cut him today.
I'm shocked. He seems
I'm not.
exactly like Dan Campbell's type of dude.
You know, I think Dan Campbell limits his knee biting to other men. I don't think he's very interested in biting the knees of women, thankfully.
It's okay as long as you're just being douchey towards other football players. Got it. Targeting the knees of tight ends.
I'm just saying, I don't think he's very pro domestic violence.
That's probably fair. He's just pro injuries.
Oh god damn it! I can't see the fucking score.
But yeah, Cam Sutton apparently chucked his girlfriend out a window.
That's what he did? I knew he hit her. I didn't know he did all that. Jesus.
Yeah, apparently. So that's insane. Odell's visiting the Dolphins, which I actually think is kind of incredible. He'd be cool so perfect for them. As just a pure slot guy. And you know Tua likes to work over the middle of the field. Yeah. Odell could be his little safety blanket. And Odell's hands are good enough. He'd be a great safety blanket.
Yeah. No, I'm with it.
Yeah.
I like that fit for them.
Yeah, not pretending he needs to be a 1 like Baltimore did is the correct way.
Exactly.
I love Odell. He needs to be a 2 or a 3. I keep seeing people talk about Minnesota should bring him in for a workout, and I'm like, I'm down. I'm so down. As wide receiver 3, but like target number 4, I'm down. Or maybe 5 if you count Aaron Jones.
Yeah. I keep forgetting he's in Minnesota.
Yeah. I love it.
I really thought I was free.
Xavier Worthy's also about to be a Dolphin.
I saw that.
We're banning the hip drop tackle, apparently.
So stupid.
Yeah.
So utterly stupid. Let's go. North Carolina just beat Wagner. We're moving on.
You shouldn't be happy. You should just be indifferent. Because the only emotion you should have felt was anger if they lose. That's it.
I mean, that's fair, but I also am not used to teams winning games. This is the only team I'm used to winning is North Carolina.
That's
literally
valid.
The only one.
That's valid.
So when they win, I know to cherish it because I know the torture and the torment from the other teams.
See,
just won 90-62.
I'm just so fucked up by all my teams. I see the Timberwolves win, and I just go, yeah, but we're gonna get shithoused in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. The Steelers added who? Do not look up the name of the Pittsburgh Steelers assistant secondary coach.
I won't. Mike Williams is now a Jet.
Yeah.
I love it.
If he can stay healthy, I like it.
He's just better Alan Lazard.
Yeah, I can get behind that. You know what move I really like that's kind of underrated? That I'm now looking at because I have the free agency tracker ahead of me. Jonathan Hankins to the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think we talked about that one.
No, that just happened.
Oh, what do you mean? Really?
Did it?
No. I feel like we talked about that. I thought it
did.
Because it was some defensive tackle that you were obsessed with that I told you signed somewhere. I broke that news last week. I thought it was him.
I thought maybe I'm wrong.
Hollywood Brown's a Chief.
Yeah. Am I losing my mind?
I think so. Brandon Ayuk's tweeting at Mike Tomlin, so he's probably a Steeler.
Did you see the what's it called?
No.
The trade offer that the 49ers or that the Jaguars turned down for Brandon Ayuk allegedly?
I think I did, yeah.
Zay Jones, the 17th pick for Brandon Ayuk, and they said no.
I probably would have made that trade.
I think anyone with a brain would have. Yeah, Jonathan Hankins signed yesterday.
That's insane. Was it Sheldon Rankins then?
Yes. Sheldon Rankins to the Browns. That was the one.
Those names are the same.
Rankins, Hankins. I mean, yeah, kind of. Cameron Johnston to the Steelers. Vikings signed Shaq Griffin.
I'm very intrigued by that one. I'm a
He's
little
solid depth.
sad. I wanted him to sign with the Vikings 3 years ago when he left
Right.
Seattle. I'm just more of a like, he's not going to be solid depth. He will start. He makes more
Solid
sense as a
depth
boundary
was the
corner
wrong room.
because
the
it's going to be
wrong
him
word.
and Mackay on the boundary, and then
Right.
Byron's going to move back into the slot.
Depth was not the word I meant to use.
Oh.
I was looking at a different move that was definitely depth. Who was it I had in front of me? Ugo Amadi to the Saints.
Yeah.
I was like, that's solid depth.
Oh, Chase Young.
Chase Young to the Saints.
Weird. They have no money.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
But they gave him all of it.
Right. Why?
$13 million guaranteed because pass rush.
Dude, the Saints make no sense. He's
I
not
will
making
say-
it to the. He's not lifting you to the Super Bowl.
He's not, but I will say if there were any defensive end in the league that could teach him how to run defend and also remind him that football requires effort, it's probably Cam Jordan.
That's fair. I get
Cam
that.
Jordan as a mentor for Chase Young is something I like a lot,
That's
which is the only
fair.
reason why I look at this move and I'm like, ew, or I'm not like, ew, what the hell? Because I think he can learn a lot. Plus, he's going to play alongside Pete Werner, who has familiarity with in college. And that can usually help a guy out a lot, too. Going to a new place where you know somebody there, he's familiar with the defense, he can help him get acquainted, help him build his connections and whatnot. So it's a lot of money, but I actually kind of like it.
I don't think 13 mil for him's that much, honestly.
It's a lot of money to be fully guaranteed. Especially given the Saints cap situation.
Oh, that's fair. The Saints cap. The Saints don't have a cap. They just don't. It's
no
not
cap
real.
for real. Speaking of no cap, the Browns gave Jerry Jeudy more money than he should ever be worth.
I don't know if that's true. But
$41 million guaranteed over 3 years is utterly ridiculous.
that's a lot of money. Is it
There is
utterly
no
ridiculous?
way to yes, there is no way to possibly justify that.
So that's what? 14
Over
a
$10
year?
million a year. Yes. You cannot justify
Who's
that.
making 14 mil a year as a wide receiver?
He's making more money per year than Darnell Mooney. That's just the first guy I thought of off the top of my head.
Okay. Jerry
Mooney is
Jeudy
substantially
plays.
better.
I disagree. They have the
Jerry
exact
Jeudy
same
doesn't
issue.
play. Jerry Jeudy doesn't play. What, they played with bad quarterbacks?
No,
That's
they
their only
drop
issue?
the ball a lot.
No, Jerry Judy's issue is fucking effort.
Jerry
didn't give a
Judy's
shit
issue has
last
always been
year.
his hands. Yeah,
His
he didn't
hands and
give a
effort.
shit because you're telling the guy who's only good at like running routes to just run deep all the time.
I take issue with that. I take major issue with that. You need to show effort on the fucking football field. I don't care if the offense doesn't play to your strengths. I take issue with that. Effort is like the bare minimum. That's like the one thing he needs is to show effort to inspire some. Here's the other thing too. Jerry Judy's under contract for another year. So if he would have went in there and played for the Browns for the year and played well, I could understand giving him this type of money. Giving him this type of money coming off a really disappointing tenure in Denver before he even plays it down for you, I think is a really, really dumb move.
I just want to know. Yeah, Darnell Mooney, I still hate, so I don't think him making money is. I don't think he's worth what he got paid. He's making 13 a year. I don't think he's worth that either.
He is, but he has a quarterback that knows how to throw the ball.
How would you know? We've never seen him with a quarterback who knows how to throw the ball. Maybe he's just the exact same guy.
Well, he was a 1,000-yard receiver at one point in his career and gets open pretty consistently.
Whoop-de-doo. Being a 1,000-yard receiver when you're the only receiver on a team means nothing. Okay.
As a
how do
wide
I
receiver,
see
too, it's
average
pretty
per
decent
year?
accomplish.
He is making. Ooh. What the fuck? Receiver pay scales are weird.
Yeah.
Technically, he's making in the ballpark of Tyler Lockett, Cortland Sutton, D-Hop, Gabe Davis, Darnell Mooney, and Alan Lazard. Alan Lazard's in that same ballpark.
Well, yeah, we
Receivers
knew Alan
make no
Lazard was
sense.
overpaid.
Okay,
Yeah, we
but
knew-
so is Gabe Davis and Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
And then D-Hop's out here being underpaid. And then
Well,
Tyler
D-Hop's being
Lockett's
underpaid
probably
because he's
exactly
old.
not that old. I think he's 31.
Is he not like 33?
No. I'm double checking. No, he's 31.
He's 31. You're right. Oh my god, I thought he was
I was
way older
on
than
the
that.
number
What the
too.
fuck?
Incredible. Yeah, no, he was 30 when he signed with the Titans and didn't get shit.
Yeah, but remember, he signed with the Titans for less on purpose because he wanted to go back to play with his coach. The receivers coach was his receivers coach
Right.
at Clemson.
None of that ever made sense. I don't understand why D-Hop did anything.
Yeah, it was
he
so
did.
weird when he was like, yeah, I want to go somewhere with a franchise quarterback,
Okay.
and then signed with Ryan Tannehill.
And then, dude, him and Adam Thielen, I want to go somewhere where I can win a Super Bowl. Signs with the Panthers? What do we do?
Well, I'm thinking with Thielen, maybe nobody wanted him.
No, he said that after he signed with the Panthers. I wanted to go
that's
somewhere
right.
I could win a Super Bowl.
That's right. Ooh.
It's like,
That's
dude,
like-
what kind of
Who was the corner 2 years ago? Remember when it was Casey Hayward. Remember when he signed with the Falcons and said like the same thing and everyone clowned on him for it?
Yeah. Oh, God. Though,
But yeah, no, I just, like I said, with Judy, I've never been a fan of his, and I think paying him before he even takes a snap for your team when he has the history he does is really risky.
though I do wonder if 14 isn't actually that much, because the cap's going to go up again by next year when that kicks in. That might be viewed the same as like an $8 million receiver now.
Maybe. And maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying to get ahead.
Right.
And if that's the case,
Because
I can
if he
understand,
plays
but-
incredible, suddenly you might have to pay him 18 a year.
Right.
And
I'm still not a fan of it.
he's
at
also
this very
only
moment.
24.
Yeah, I know he's young, but it's still, I'm not.
Bigger issue for me is why you paying receivers when you ain't got a quarterback.
Right.
I mean,
said
I
this-
guess they did bring in Jameis, and who else did they just sign?
Tyler Huntley. Listen,
Yeah.
it's funny. I made my video last night about the AFC North, like free agency grades, just like grading the first week. I said in that video, and I stand by it, there is a non-zero chance that Tyler Huntley will end that year as the best quarterback in the room.
He already is the best quarterback in that room.
No, I think it's close.
I
But I
don't.
don't know if I want to.
I don't.
I think you might be a little bit higher on Huntley than I am then.
No, I think I
think
just
Huntley's a
actually
fine
watched
backup.
Deshaun Watson play football last year. I don't think he's good enough to be
I'm
a
not
backup.
referring to Watson.
Oh, I don't think Jameis is worth anything.
Yeah. Which is fair.
He can put up. Jameis is Nick Mullins, and I think I'd rather have Tyler Huntley than Nick Mullins. Actually, I don't even think Jameis is as good as Nick Mullins.
Jameis is Nick Mullins if he couldn't keep his hands to himself.
Yeah. Jameis is just Nick Mullins if Nick Mullins were a shitty person.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like,
It's very
obviously, I'm not a
unfortunate.
woman, so I can't like speak on behalf of women. And I think we made this point last week, but I want to reiterate it since we're on the topic. How can you put those two individuals on the same organization and feel good about the women that work for your team? Like, how can you justify that to them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, sure, I'm sure there's some women in that organization because obviously everyone's different. Everyone looks at things different. Everyone speaks differently. There probably are women in that organization that don't care, but like, that can't be the case for most of them. And I think that's utterly ridiculous that you're just going with that.
Right.
Let's see here. Bradley Chubb got his contract restructured. The Eagles might try to trade Hassan Reddick. DPJ back to the Lions, but he's making like nothing. Trent Brown to the Bengals, which is crazy because now both their starting tackles are 6'8", but the second they go up against a speed rusher, they're fucked.
Who's their other tackle? Oh, it's Orlando Brown.
Orlando
That's
Brown.
right. Oh, so they're going to move
Yeah.
Trent Brown to right tackle, aren't they?
Probably.
That's so dumb because he's
Yeah.
such a better left tackle. And Orlando is such a better right tackle. I hate the
Maybe-
Bengals.
Maybe they're finally going to convince him.
Also, I just don't care because every single tackle who's went to the Bengals has been awful. I don't think it's actually the offensive lineman. Brown was bad. Lyle Collins was bad. Jonah Williams was bad. Like, I'm over it, dude. The Bengals are just going to have shitty tackle play. And I think that was the contract they signed when they passed on Sewell for Chase, is you're just going to have to live with this. And they were like,
Yeah.
And like, it works as long as Joe Burrow doesn't sprain his ankle in training camp.
Yeah. Alexander Madison's a Raider.
I don't hate it, but I
They've got Madison, Zamir White, and Amir Abdullah.
I don't know enough about Zamir White. What is he?
Right.
What does he do? Is he like a little speed guy?
Kind of. He's more like a one-cut scat back, if I'm not mistaken.
So I don't know. Him and Madison as like a duo could be pretty sick.
Yeah, it could be all right. It could be a low-end tandem.
It'll be a high-end tandem because we know that Pierce just wants to run the ball. They're both going to go for 1,000 yards. Watch.
Yeah. The Lions signed Kevin Zeitler, which makes me angry beyond belief.
They got to do everything they can to protect Goff, because if there's a little bit of pressure, they lose game.
True.
So I'm not that worried. They still have Jared Goff.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs to the Niners.
Also, we both have good enough defensive coordinators and pass rushers that it won't matter.
Gervon Dexter will eat Kevin Zeitler for breakfast, I fear.
I'm down to watch that.
Yeah. Josh Dobbs to the Niners. Second best quarterback on that roster now.
There's a third quarterback on that roster?
I think.
I have no idea. I know they had Darnold.
I know. I was just jumping the gun so you couldn't say Dobbs. Oh, yeah, they have Brandon Allen. But I was just jumping the gun so you couldn't say Dobbs was better than Purdy.
I mean, I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, but now it'll look like you're just copying me.
See, the thing is, though, the Pastronaut will always be better.
For like 2 seconds, maybe.
Call me when Brock Purdy gets a nickname like Pastronaut.
Big Cock Brock?
No. And we're just reusing nicknames at this point, basically. I don't like it.
Hold on. Mr. Irrelevant?
I mean, that's not that cool of a
actually,
nickname.
no,
And that's also the nickname that goes to every single
I know.
last pick in the draft.
What about Mr. Relevant?
No. That's really dumb.
Okay. Another one of my favorites. Willie Snead calls him Glock Purdy.
Kid, that's kind of funny. I don't hate that.
Glock Purdy goes crazy.
All right, 42 minutes in, I think we should probably just start.
We've been here for 42 minutes.
Yeah, we should probably just do this mock draft.
Zero Dark Purdy. Brock Sturdy.
So we're gonna do a mock draft. Miller's gonna be doing odds. I'm gonna be doing evens. Except I will be picking for the Vikings.
Correct.
And he will be picking, I guess, for the Denver Broncos.
That I can do.
Or do you want the Broncos or do you want the Jets? I'll let you take your
Broncos.
pick. Okay. That's
Actually,
probably
no, I
good.
want the Jets. The Jets
good. I get
fun.
to bully the Broncos. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. I'll let you have that.
Let's go.
Remember, that's rainy day money.
That was funny. All right.
Huh?
So, Miller, you are on the board with the Chicago Bears. Will you be trading down? Will you be sticking with Fields?
Perchance. I will say there is a Bears fan out there that is fully convinced that the Fields to the Steelers thing is just a hoax created by Poles and Tomlin to drive up the price of the pick.
Oh, sure.
I've seen someone actually say that. I've also seen a petition to get Fields brought back to Chicago. But no, I'm gonna be a little sheep. I'm gonna do the right thing. Because look, I'm gonna be honest. Now that like the stakes are actually like 100% there at who is the Bears quarterback next year, I've gone back and not even gone back, but I've more so been watching like Brendan Rice and Tez Walker and the receivers from the two teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to waver. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's been like this, right? It's been like this is Drake, this is Caleb, and now it's starting to be like this again, where they're perfectly even. And I don't know. Maybe it's just subconsciously me trying to like accept the fact that Caleb's gonna be the Bears quarterback because we know that's who they're going to take. Even though I do think there's a conversation to be had. Like, I I don't know. I'm so conflicted. I will be so happy either way, and you're not going to hear me complain, obviously. But I do think it's going to be Caleb, so I'm just going to go with Caleb and say that the Bears have the best quarterback they've ever drafted, or the best quarterback prospect they've ever drafted that will eventually probably be the best quarterback they've ever had, because that bar is very, very low.
So I'm up with Washington, and I don't know. The correct answer, like, for what they should do, is Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
The correct answer for what they will do is probably Jaden Daniels, as much as Miller likes to pretend that's not true.
I like to have faith in a GM that's coming over from the 49ers, because they're a properly ran organization.
Oh, you mean the GM that came from the team that chose Trey Lance?
Why? Why must you remind me?
Why must I be correct? I don't know. It just is.
The other thing, too, I'm almost positive I've brought this up on here before, and if I haven't, I've definitely brought it up to you before just in conversations. But with Magic Johnson being one of the owners and having a hand in day-to-day affairs, you already know he's going to say, I want the Heisman. Give me that Heisman. I want someone electric.
Yeah.
That's a
I think
Magic
the only guy
he'd
pick over Jaden Daniels is Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And so I really do think they go Jaden Daniels. And then it's the Patriots. I'm going to do the whole ring. The Vikings are offering 11-23-1 next year, and you can do with that what you will, because I think the only two options are the Patriots take a quarterback or they make that deal, and I'm going to let you pick whichever way you want that to go. I don't care.
Yeah,
also,
so while the Vikings are calling the Patriots, there is a phone ringing. And everyone in the organization is too busy cheering loudly 10 feet away because the savior of the franchise dropped into their laps. Drake May at 3, literally run it up to the obviously you got to take your 10 minutes for tension and drama and whatnot, but you send that intern up with that card ASAP as soon as the Jaden Daniels pick gets picked, and then you tell him to like sit in the bathroom for 5 minutes or something just to build up that tension and suspense, because Drake to New England would be quite the trade-off after losing Tom Terrific a few years ago.
I just kind of love where I sit at the moment. So Drake May, cool. Fourth pick is the easiest of all time. Marvin Harrison, you will be catching passes from Kyler Murray for the rest of your life. Cope. That's all I got. I don't know. Cope. You unfortunately will be a Cardinal.
Sorry, buddy. Getting ready to learn heat.
Yeah, dude.
Heat.
Get ready to learn cactus.
You ever heard of a road runner? You're going to own one now. Yeah, you're legally required to own one in the state of Arizona.
Yeah.
God, Chargers at 5 is tough.
I think it's pretty simple.
I know, but okay, here's the thing. From my perspective, it's simple, right?
I think from the Chargers' perspective, it's simple.
I'm going with where I'm going, obviously. I'm going to go the direction I want to go because this isn't what we would do. But I will say for the Chargers, there is a possibility they get that phone call to trade down.
Yep.
And, you know, they're like, okay, you know, we were talking about it earlier. Brock Bowers could fall to them. Maybe they like one of the other receivers in this class a little bit. I am just going to stick here and take Roma Dunze because I think he's the second best receiver in this class. I know we don't see eye to eye on that. It's like a 2A, 2B situation.
I will say,
at least, but
for basically all of these picks, Minnesota is probably on the phone.
Yeah.
Whether the team wants that or not, I don't know. But the Giants, I don't think going quarterback is their best move. I really don't. You have nothing. Your roster is atrocious. I get you got 2 good pass rushers and maybe a good corner because you drafted one last year. Oh, and I forgot about Dexter Lawrence. But your offensive line sucks. Your receivers suck. Your tight end is okay if he's healthy. But
he's
also,
a wide receiver.
The last 2 games he was healthy, he couldn't catch a ball. So,
yeah.
I don't know. You don't have a running back. As much as I love Eric Gray, I don't know what he is at the NFL level, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's worth starting. So trading down makes sense. Picking a tackle makes sense. But I think Malik Neighbors being there answers your question way too fast.
Fair. Yeah, so now with Tennessee, this is, 2 months ago, this happens, right? You get to 7, all the receivers are gone. It's a nightmare situation. Now that you've gone out and you've signed Calvin Ridley, even though you gave him a lot of money, you have him, you have Hopkins, you have Treylon Burks, who you're still hoping can be something, maybe anything. And if not, you've got a second rounder pretty early on. You can draft a receiver and maybe he takes over for Burks. Sitting here at 7, they just cut Andre Dillard. Not that he was a good left tackle, but he was their starter.
Mm-hmm.
And the other tackle they have is Nicholas Petit-Frere, and they also have Jalen Duncan from Maryland. Neither of them hold anything to Joe Alt. And this offseason has very much been, we're going to build around Will Levis as much as possible. And so going out after you've gotten him his weapons and getting a truly protective offensive tackle that can be a cornerstone for him or whoever your quarterback may be 5 years down the line, I think is pretty important.
I'm getting worried that you're going to pull some fucky shit on me. So I don't know if I need to force the Vikings to trade up ahead of the Bears. So I'm going to do this thing that makes it so Miller can't trade out because of the guy he's going to want. So the Falcons are going to take Dallas Turner.
Okay. Super high upside edge.
Absolutely. They need an edge rusher. I mean, he makes a ton of sense. I normally pick somebody else to spite the Bears, but because I don't want them to move out, I will leave Miller's favorite player of all time here.
Kyle Long's in this draft?
Yeah, but his name's Latu.
Where?
His name's
Where is
Latu
Kyle?
now.
The only Oregon lineman I see is JPJ. Okay. So
He still might fuck on me anyways. He's trying to fuck on me.
Phrasing?
You don't get that reference, which is incredible. It's a wrestling reference.
Okay. So sitting here at 9, Chicago's in a really interesting situation because obviously they could, on paper, just take one of the 2 top tackles that's still here. Apparently they're pretty interested in Fuaga. They could take one of the top edge rushers. They could take Brock Bowers here at 9. However, J.J. McCarthy's still on the board, and the Vikings are there at 11. The Vikings are there at 11.
He's going to do it to spite us.
And you're worried about your division rival ending up with a quarterback, and there's a certain team that wears colors that rhyme with quarterback sitting 2 picks behind them that you could hypothetically trade back with. But because I don't want to be a dick, I'm just going to take Latu. Although I will say, realistically in this situation, I do think...
realistically, the Vikings have already moved up. Realistically, the Vikings called any of those other teams.
But even then, if I wasn't mocking with just you and I didn't want to listen to the outcry that would happen and also know you're going to spite me later on, I would trade back with the Raiders because truthfully, Latu would probably still be there at 13 because of the medicals. There's a lot of concern there. And the Bears got to trade.
If the Vikings miss on McCarthy,
I think they'd go verse.
I don't think he's perfect for what we would want. Especially because the medicals also don't matter. Because we already have 2 starting edges.
True, I suppose. But to be fair, the medicals are an injury that made him retire from football. It's not like this is like this guy has a history of nicks and bumps. It's like he fucked up his neck pretty bad. And you're worried about whether or not he's going to be able to function. But I'm just going to go with Latu. I think he's the most talented, toolsy edge rusher I've seen come out of the draft ever. At least since I've been scouting. So in the past 4 or 5 years. And I would be ecstatic to get him opposite Montez Sweat.
And now to spite me, the Jets take J.J. McCarthy, right? I'm kidding. But you do get this pick.
Low key.
No.
Hold on, let me check something real quick.
What are you checking?
I gotta remember who the Jets have in a certain position because I don't quite remember.
Tyler Conklin.
That's not the position I was thinking about, but thank you.
Oh. What position are you thinking about? Tackle? They just signed Tyron Smith.
I know. I was thinking about tight end. I just wanted to be funny.
Oh.
Listen. Listen, it is everything I have in me not to just take JJ here. Not even to spite you, but because I think this would be a really good pick for them.
Yeah, maybe. But
Learning behind
I
Aaron
think Aaron
Rodgers,
would be so pissed, he might retire.
Yeah, I guess you got to deal with the diva.
Right.
So I'm just going to take Bowers. Give Rodgers another weapon. Appease conspiracy man, I suppose.
And that means Minnesota legend J.J. McCarthy will be a thing. Will he be a legend? I don't know. Also, I don't know what number he'll wear, because Tristan Jackson already wears 9.
Who?
A receiver. He caught the game-winning 2-point conversion against the Falcons from Joshua
he's gonna have
Dobbs.
to lose that, big dog.
Nah, J.J. McCarthy is going to be ha-ha funny about it and wear 8.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Or he's going to rock like 1. I could see that also. Also, my brain started working when I kept showing you the Drake May Vikings like jersey swap, and you said, why is he always wearing 1? Fran Tarkenton's numbers retired. He couldn't wear 10.
I always forget Fran Tarkenton wore 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
In my mind, he wore like 15.
Right? Same. So,
I don't know why.
Yeah. But J.J. McCarthy will be the savior of the Vikings. Let's go. Realistically, we're trading up to like 4 or 5 and taking J.J., but
yeah,
we're being slightly unrealistic because, as me and Miller talked about, there's a world where this happens and J.J. just falls.
Yeah.
Maybe not as far, but if he falls to like 8, maybe we don't have to give up another pick. Ow, our other first to get up. Sorry. Dying. Oh, right. I have the Broncos. I was all waiting for you to make a pick. So,
Fringe.
the Broncos. I must bully. Also, Sean Payton's in love. So, Bo Nix is a Bronco.
What?
Yeah, I genuinely think this might happen.
No, it will. If he's there at 12, I can see it.
Yeah.
I think he's a perfect fit for them.
Bo Nix, you are a Bronco. I almost said Oakland Raiders. What do you do? But that's not who you are. It's very unfortunate. That was a better place for you. But
yeah, so now the Raiders have to cry because they signed Minshew. That's okay.
Right.
That's okay.
That's the other reason I'm not sure they'd move up is because, like, and it's not just a 1-year Minshew deal. He has 2 years of guaranteed money. And I kind of think they like Aiden O'Connell. They probably don't want him to just start, but like another year learning and then maybe see what you have after that.
I'm going to check real quick.
What are you checking? They definitely don't need a defensive tackle. That's a lie.
I know. I got to check how long this guy's arms are.
No, you should be checking speed. Why are you not looking at 40 times? Antonio Pierce said he was bringing back the Raider way. Also, their GM drafted a wide receiver last year based only off speed.
Yeah.
So who's the fastest guy available?
Okay. Yeah, that's stomachable. Or not even stomachable, that's fine. So you've got your quarterback, quote unquote, with Minshew and O'Connell. What you don't have is a decent offensive line. You have Colton Miller.
Yeah.
You have Dylan Parham, who I'm okay with. You have Andre James.
Yeah.
Thayer Munford Jr. is your starting right tackle. You just lost your Manuel Umanor. So we're going to take Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State, the Darnell Wright clone of this class. I had to make sure because I've seen a lot of stuff about his arms. His arms are pretty comparable to Darnell Wright. It's like a fucking, what is it, like
I gotta look.
1/6 of an inch maybe. So I can get behind that. Because I was worried he was going to have some T-Rex arms or something. Because you know, I've heard a lot of like Fuaga kicks into guard, like Skaronski talk, and it's just.
So the
Or am I
Saints.
crazy? And I'm thinking of Fautanu.
I think you're thinking of
either way,
Fautanu.
Saints.
I think you're thinking of Fautanu.
Maybe.
The Saints are in a horrible spot. Because
No,
there's
I'm
only one
definitely not.
answer.
Jesus.
They've already ran to the board. It was up
Uh-huh.
before the Raiders finished talking because Olu's still there.
Yeah.
Trevor Penning is awful.
Uh-huh.
He likes to legally assault people, but he's not very good at it. So he will enjoy riding the pine while Olu guards Derek Carr's blindside. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Fatanu has 34.5-inch arms, which is longer.
Oh, really?
Like
I'm on
a
drugs.
lot of.
I thought it was Fautanu.
No, it was definitely Fuaga.
Weird.
That being said, Colts here at 15. Taking a look at their depth chart, right? Just to make sure I'm not crazy. I do believe I know their best position of attack here.
Do you?
Yep. Who are their corners? They got Juju Brents and they got Kenny Moore. Outside of them, not a whole lot. What do the Colts like a lot in their DBs or their players in general as of the last 2 years? They love that RAS score on top of being super talented. So we're going to go Quinion Mitchell here. I know he's not Nate Wiggins who ran the 4.2 or whatever, but Quinion Mitchell has a 9.75 RAS score, balled the fuck out, and is a really solid corner. I haven't fully evaluated corners yet.
Yeah.
But I've liked a lot of what I've seen out of Mitchell in the couple games I've watched.
I hate it. This year we're going to be in a rough spot. No, none of us have gotten as much graded as we would like. And I think it's kind of going to be like that on draft night, because that's only like 2 weeks away now.
No, it's more than 2 weeks. It's the whole month.
Oh, God. I keep getting the draft and WrestleMania confused. Because WrestleMania starts on the 6th. So I'm like thinking that the 6th is that. Yeah. That just keeps happening to me. So the Seahawks, I don't know what to do with you. So, realistically, their biggest need is like interior offensive line. ESPN's depth chart for them says they don't even have left guard as a position. They only rock 4 offensive linemen.
True.
I don't know what happened to their left guard. But their interior offensive line is awful. But who the hell do you kick to the interior? Because I don't think Jackson Powers Johnson is their guy.
Graham Barton.
Who the hell is that guy?
One of the top interior linemen. Played tackle at Duke, and he's projected to kick inside.
Do you think he'd go in the top 16?
I would think this would be more of a trade back spot, personally.
But I'm also trying to figure out who's moving up.
I can see them going.
Any of your teams want to move up?
Who do I have? Ooh, yeah. Miami.
Okay, I'll just say deal. We're gonna make this trade. Miami wants to come up. And I'm just gonna do whatever I have to get them to move up, because none of the picks after this matter.
Perfect.
So Miami wants to come up. They'll give that. Cool.
Yep.
Miami up.
So Miami up to 16. Easy money taking JPJ. They need a center desperately. They lost Connor Williams, who's still a free agent technically, but there's rumors about whether or not he's ever going to play football again. And the center is super important for the way Mike McDaniel runs his offense. They asked Connor Williams to do a fuck ton of crazy not stunts, but like crazy pulls and getting downfield quickly to block. So I think JPJ would be huge for them. Oh, and then I've got the Jacksonvilles.
I know who I want to pick for them, but
I'm trying to think.
Because I thought that was my team. Remember, they don't have a secondary.
They've got
everybody.
Yeah.
They did they did sign a safety, but that means nothing.
Yeah, I'm just going to take Cooper DeJean. He can play one of those spots in the secondary. Safety, corner, something. You'll be able to find a way to fit him in.
That is not who I was going to pick, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, he probably wasn't the best pure corner on the board, but...
I still think the best corner is Kool-Aid. He's just not flashy. And
Oh.
he's also suffering from that prospect fatigue more than anybody because he's been the best corner available, like best corner in college football for 3 years. So yeah, but this guy's fancier. It's like, yeah, but go watch.
I haven't watched Kool-Aid yet, so I can't say. But DeJean, I mean, he can play corner, he can play safety. You can fit him in somewhere in that secondary.
Oh, for sure.
That's what matters.
No, that's
In
definitely
fact,
a good pick.
Thinking about it in hindsight, that's probably where the Seahawks should have gone at 16. But
they just spent money on another safety.
yeah, but is he really one that like?
Rayshawn Jenkins?
Guy like, oh, they signed Rayshawn Jenkins. I forgot about that.
And they also paid Julian Love, who was just a Pro Bowler.
Yep.
They don't need another corner because Kobe Bryant's your slot guy. They're good.
I forgot about Rayshawn Jenkins.
Okay. I see. I was thinking, no.
Yes.
Because I immediately went, oh, secondary, because they lost so many guys. No. Yeah. They're good. So the Bengals, why does part of me so badly want to be really dumb?
In what way?
Take a receiver.
I don't even think that would be dumb.
It's not, but it is. Like, they don't need to.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it
But it also
right
feels
now,
so much like the Bengals.
Yeah, because right now I don't even know, because you've got Jamar and T as your two outside receivers. Tyler Boyd isn't coming back, but I think Mike Gesicki's going to fill his role as like a jumbo slot because he's not a tight end.
Yeah.
And then you've got Drew Sample as like your inline tight end, and you're not taking a tight end outside of Brock Bowers this early in this class.
No.
No,
I think realistically they go corner.
Yeah, although they just spent a second on DJ Turner last year.
Okay. Was he any good? Like, I genuinely don't.
He didn't play, I don't think.
Because Daxton Hill is probably playing safety. Even though their depth chart has him listed as just a backup, but I think he's probably playing safety.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably play him up in the box as like a hybrid linebacker.
Yeah. So Cam Taylor-Britt, DJ
Battle.
Turner, Mike Hilton obviously is your slot corner.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what he's good at.
But yeah, DJ Turner didn't play a whole lot last year because they had Chidobe.
I also don't know enough about Cam Taylor-Britt. Also, wasn't Chidobe hurt?
Was he?
I have no idea.
God, I did not watch enough. Once Joe Burrow went down, I totally stopped paying attention to the Bengals.
I didn't watch them at all. I'm not going to lie to you.
I mean, Terry and Arnold falling this far, I can see taking him at 18.
I still think they'd go the other guy, but that's me. I'm just trying to see, did he play? No, he played. Never mind. He missed 3 games.
Oof.
But the other thing I could kind of see maybe is a D tackle, but they signed Sheldon Rankins and still got BJ Hill.
Yeah.
But obviously they don't need a tackle. So realistically, the question is, do you go Arnold or do you go with like Brian Thomas or Adonai or one of those receivers? And I just don't know if the Bengals need receiver help, especially since one of these other like decent veteran receivers probably will just sign there because, oh, Joe Burrow, go get win. Like, that just feels like something that could just happen at any moment.
This could be another trade down spot.
It could be. It could be.
In fact, you know what?
I'll let you.
We'll do something crazy.
I hate picking for some of these teams, and I'd rather be in a spot where it's an easier choice.
Would you be willing to trade all the way down to 31?
Sure.
Sick.
I think the Bengals need depth more than anything.
Yeah.
So more shots for them is probably good. Who's at 31?
Niners.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Who are the 49ers?
Okay, so the Niners jumping up to 18 here.
It did not want that. Wild.
Dude, I had to trade like half of the Niners capital to make this work.
I gave them this year's first and next year's first and some, and it still wasn't enough. It's like, oh,
damn.
Okay.
Obviously, the trade details don't matter here, but the point of the Niners jumping up is you're worried about one of these tackles that you really like going off the board quickly. J.C. Latham falling this far, I think, is crazy.
Valid.
He's one of the stronger, better like right tackle archetypes in this class. So now you've got your two bookend tackles with Latham and Trent Williams. And assuming you didn't have to break the bank completely to jump up and make this trade, you've got yourself a pretty good chance to fill out your offensive line, which was their biggest weakness last year.
Yeah.
Now the Rams. What do we do with you? Yeah.
I think you got to find your AD replacement, right?
Yeah.
Whether that's an edge rusher or a D tackle, just somebody who can try to fill those shoes.
That also happened, and we didn't talk about it. Aaron Donald fucking retired.
Yeah. Kyler Murray is the happiest man on earth.
I know.
I don't know if you saw those tweets. I love that.
They tweeted out the fucking congratulations thing, and it just said quarterbacks rejoice. That's so cold.
Yeah, quarterbacks rejoice.
Now, that being said...
More like offensive lines rejoice.
Right. That being said, though, you're talking about an Aaron Donald replacement. He's not going to be as good as Aaron Donald, but I think the guy that's going to play the Aaron Donald role is already on your roster.
Right.
But like Kobe's going to step in and be Aaron Donald.
I just mean like either a space eater or another pass rusher, whichever one you think.
Right.
Whichever one you think is more hurt by losing Aaron Donald.
Right.
Because I think there's a good guy for both of those chilling.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking a space eater, right? Because you just need somebody to take up space. But I'm curious, who are you thinking is the best space eater here?
Jerzon.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're in agreement. Yeah. Because I know some people are very, very high on like T'Vondre Sweat.
Oh, I love T'Vondre, but I don't know if he can be a true 3-down lineman. Right.
Yeah, I'm going to take Johnny Newton here.
Absolutely.
I think that's a pretty easy pick. Him and Kobe Turner on the interior with who they have. They have Byron Young, and then Michael Hoyt was pretty okay for what they had him playing last year, like a hybrid off-ball or a hybrid outside linebacker. So I like that pick a lot for them.
So I've done this every time for the Steelers. Do I?
Yeah.
What do I?
You've got 3 in a row, actually.
Oh, and the Vikings are at 23. Which one of these 3 teams you want? Steelers,
I'll take
Seahawks,
the Eagles if you want to pick for Minnesota.
Okay, deal.
Okay.
Deal. Steelers, though, I've picked this every time. I don't know which one plays at which tackle spot. I don't really care. You took the Georgia kid last year. You take the Georgia kid again. Amarius Mims. You put one at left tackle. You put one at right tackle. Give Russ or Justin Fields the protection they deserve. I know, we're saying Russ is the starter, but when Justin Fields outplays him all preseason and then Russ throws 2 picks week 1, it'll be Fields. It'll be Fields pretty quick. So give me Mims for the Steelers. And then the Seahawks, I think... now feels like a decent enough time that they can take Graham Barton and not completely feel awful about it, so they will.
Yeah, I think Graham Barton's starting to go in the early 20s is fitting. Philly here, though. Oh, man. Philly would be pissed if Graham Barton went the pick before them, because I feel like he could definitely step in as your... not Jason Kelce replacement, but your center. That,
or you can put him at guard and move Cam Jurgens over, because we know Cam Jurgens isn't good at guard. Maybe he's good at the position he was drafted to play, though.
Yeah. So now what do we do with them? They just added Bryce Huff, so it's not like they need any edge help. No. What am I talking about? He's still here, Terrion Arnold.
Yeah.
Easy. Their secondary has been awful. They need a corner, add Terrion Arnold, profit.
So
that's huge.
This also is really easy for Minnesota, I think. Byron Murphy's still here. So,
ooh, that's the route we're going. Okay.
What did you think I was going to do?
I thought you were just going to take Verse.
No.
If he falls this far...
I don't care.
Okay.
So here's the thing.
I like it.
So here's the thing. We already have our starters. You got Van Ginkel and you got Grenard. Those are your starting edge rushers. I like Patrick Jones as a rotational guy.
Then that changes things because I don't know a lot about
Andre Carter is still on our roster.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay.
And we just signed the guy from the Giants who wasn't that good, but he had a career year last year.
Jihad Ward.
Yeah.
Really good. He's a really good run stopper.
But he's like, there's our rotational pieces.
Okay.
We don't need Verse. Our
Okay.
defensive line right now is Harrison Phillips, Jacqueline Roy, Jerry Tillery, and Jonathan Bullard.
Yeah,
I don't
I
care.
feel you.
I don't care if Latu is still on the board. I don't care if Dallas Turner's still on the board. Byron Murphy or Johnny Newton, if whichever one is there. If we keep pick 23, which I think kind of is starting to feel more likely that we use, like, I think it'll probably be a first this year and our first next year to move up, and then we also can fill out our defensive line spot at 23. So whichever it is, Newton or Murphy is, to me, the correct choice. So Byron Murphy, welcome to Minnesota.
Valid. It's you again.
Oh, yeah. Cowboys, I mean, interesting.
They did nothing during free agency, which will help. They also lost Tyron Smith.
I was going to say, I feel like an edge could be nice here.
Corner
Corner could be nice because you're losing Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
I mean, linebacker could be nice because you're losing.
Are there any linebackers worth taking this early?
I don't know, man.
I haven't touched the linebackers yet because I've been told they all suck. Maybe Peyton Wilson. I've heard good things about Peyton Wilson.
But I think realistically, I'm just trying to figure out whether they want Fautanu or whether they'd go Guyton.
Okay.
And I haven't actually watched either of them.
You could go big athletic tight end, if I'm not mistaken. Here, give me a second.
I don't think they'd go tight end, though.
Not tackle. Or not tight end, tackle.
Jesus. I think...
Who moves like a tight end is what I'm trying to say.
Who the hell are you talking about? Kingsley?
I want to make sure. I'm pretty sure it's one of two guys. I want to make sure I have the guy from the bright blue school. Yeah. Kingsley ran almost a 5 flat. It is like a super athletic tackle.
Why does Tyler Guyton have a higher RAS score?
He does?
Yeah.
Maybe he did better in like the weightlifting and stuff. Tyler
Guyton, though, 6'7", 322. He's just Tyron Smith.
Okay.
To me, that just kind of makes more sense for who they are and more realistically who Jerry Jones is. That's where I'm going to finish that. So Tyler Guyton, you are a Dallas Cowboy. Now, Miller, it is your chance to troll Jacob Discusses Athletics.
Yeah, what the fuck do the Packers do here?
Probably quarterback, right?
Let's see here.
No, there are so many
Walker at left tackle. Yeah, you just cut D-back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go. I'm just going to take Troy Fautanu.
That's valid.
Just because he's the highest rated tackle left on the board. I don't know. I haven't watched the tackles outside of the top 4.
Now the Bucks is tough. Having Kool-Aid and Verse here is really tough. Because those, I think, to me, are the two best players left on the board. And they would love to have both.
I think they're hurting more in the secondary, personally.
They still have a true corner one in the dude's name, who I can't remember.
The dude's name you can remember.
You know the one.
Jamel Dean?
Yeah. He's been corner one for them for 3 years. He won a Super Bowl as their corner one.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to see who else they got back there. Maybe they are hurting more.
They got Jamel Dean, Jordan Whitehead, Antoine Winfield Jr., and Zion McCullum is their other.
Yeah, okay. No,
corner.
they're going Kool-Aid, thanks.
Because their defensive line right now is Kalijah Cansey, Vita Vea, Logan Hall, Yaya Diaby, and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka.
Yeah, I was going to say Yaya Diaby. It would have been Jared Verse had Yaya not been good last year.
I was going to say Yaya was awesome last year. Yeah, so Arizona, let me double check real quick. Really? That's how they're playing that out?
Uh-oh. What are they doing?
I didn't know they shifted Zaven Collins to be a full-time defensive end.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, because they're on a 4-3, don't they?
They run a 4-3 now.
Right. They did last year, too, because of Gannon.
Right.
But that's what
Right, but my point is, Zaven Collins used to be like a hybrid off-ball. I didn't realize they just turned him into a full-time edge. So that changes things a little bit.
And then They just drafted BJ last year, so they probably aren't giving up on him yet. They just gave Justin Jones the baggiest of bags.
I know the method. I know the method. Okay. So your wide receiver core right now, you've got Michael Wilson, you've got Greg Dortch. That's it.
No, you've got Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's right. I forgot we took Marv earlier.
I was like, dude, are we really going Marv and Brian? Let's go. That's killer.
I forgot about Marv. No, I'm not putting them in jeopardy of having Greg Dortch not play. I refuse.
Well, he'd stay as the little slot guy, so just don't pick a little slot guy.
Yeah, but then you got Michael Wilson who could take over there, and I'm a little worried about that. So you know what we're gonna do instead? I'm gonna get crazy.
Oh no.
We're gonna have we're getting a phone call. We've got someone trying to trade up here.
Oh no.
One of my teams. So you don't have to do anything here.
Sick.
We've got a team that we're gonna have the Cardinals trade just out of the first round.
What, the Bears coming up?
No.
The Panthers?
The Carolina Panthers. They're gonna jump up here and they're gonna take A.D. Mitchell.
Ooh. Okay. Over Brian Thomas.
Yeah, I like A.D. Mitchell a lot.
Okay. I do too. I do too. I get it, but
yeah. So the Cardinals,
Cardinals.
So the Cardinals get to stack up picks so they can fill out their roster because their roster has some problems. Specifically, like the interior of their offensive line needs work, linebacker core needs work, and their edge rushers. I'm fine with it for the time being. So now you've got the Panthers. They give them probably a haul, jump up, take a receiver to help out Bryce Young. Get him in a good situation where he's going to get a receiver who's a legit separator. So now you've got all of a sudden A.D. Mitchell, Deontay Johnson, and Adam Thielen as your slot.
That's not helpful. The Bills cry and ask if they can pick two players. Does the NFL agree?
No.
Fuck. Oh, God.
Why? Who do you want here?
All of them.
It's like, what does Buffalo need the most?
All of it.
Shit.
Yeah.
You're right.
They need an edge. They could use a receiver. They could use a corner. Really badly.
I think just based off assets they have tied up, they'd be more likely to take a receiver or a corner here.
I think they'd be more likely to take a receiver or an edge. You just drafted Kyer Alam.
Yeah,
you've got Teron Johnson. You traded for Rasul Douglas. I think the only one of those guys who's any good is Teron Johnson, but that's its own separate issue. But if you're
Thomas has fallen, just give Josh Allen a second receiver.
But Jared Verse.
Yeah, but Josh Allen needs help.
Also, I don't want the next team to get him.
Would they take him?
Would they not? Yeah, it's Marcus Davenport stopping you?
Oh, that's right. Their edges aren't good outside of Hutch.
And I still don't love Hutch. And if this is the world, I could see in a year Verse being the best edge rusher on that team.
I have a proposal.
What are you proposing?
This would help you, and you don't have to switch out any of your picks.
Oh, no.
It would just be swapping two of your picks. What if Baltimore jumped up over top of Detroit to make sure they could get Jared Verse, and then Buffalo falls back and they can get a receiver at 30? Because Detroit's not picking a receiver.
That's true. I could see that happening. No, that makes sense. I'm going to do that. Good call. I was too stuck on what the Bills were going to do. Thank you for saying Mr. Harbaugh calls them. And actually,
make a lot of sense
Baltimore jumps up and takes Brian Thomas.
But yeah, no. I mean, you think about it. Their edges right now, they've got some okay players. They've got Ajabo and they've got Tavius Robinson, but like they lost a fuck ton of depth. And you know Baltimore loves to rotate out their edges as much as possible. Mm-hmm. So adding a guy like Jared Verse, who does something a little bit different than those guys, their edges right now are really big toolsy pass rushers. Jared Verse is like he's toolsy too, but he's a much better run defender, I
Yep.
think, than what they have right now. So I think that would fit them well. And then Detroit here at 29, you cry.
Who? What?
You cry.
No, I think they still run up and take Chop really fast.
Oh yeah, they lost their situational pass rusher, James Houston.
Oh,
They
he's
lost James
gone.
Houston.
I didn't know they lost him.
He's on the open market technically. Like I think he's a restricted free agent. But
So
I'd
he
rather have
probably
Chop.
goes back. No,
I know,
he's
but I'd
still on the
rather have
Lions.
Chop.
What are you talking about? Julian
Did he go
Aquara
back
retired.
already?
I think isn't he like, dude? He was a 6th round pick last year or the year before last.
Yeah,
James
but he was on a
Houston's
weird
still under contract. As far as I can tell, he's still on the roster, but it doesn't matter. I don't think James Houston is as good as everybody likes to pretend he
Yeah,
is.
he signed a 2-year contract with the Lions right now. He's
Oh, ESPN just shows him still on the roster. Weird.
oh no, they did tender him.
So, I mean, I still think Chop probably makes sense, but with the loss of fuckhead
Am I crazy? I
McGee.
don't see him on their depth chart.
Oh, is he not on the depth chart? I just looked him
I
up
don't
and
see
it
him
says
there.
he's still there.
Yeah, weird.
Hold on.
Huh.
Now I want to see. Now I want to see what I'm seeing. ESPN.
ESPN, he's not there.
No, he's not. Weird. What the fuck? Oh,
Hold
yes, he
on.
is. He's listed as a linebacker, dude. Fucking
Where?
blind ass. Right behind Derek Barnes.
Oh, I was looking for Houston the 4th. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bro was looking for an IV.
I was.
Bro's wearing
that's his
glasses and he
name.
still can't see.
They're not real glasses. They're blue light glasses.
That makes it worse.
So you know what I'm going to do? Since we have a rotational edge, I'm going to take Darius Robinson.
Who?
Darius Robinson from Missouri, the other top edge in this class.
Over Chop?
In this situation, yes.
I think. Okay.
Darius Robinson is. Listen, you need for Houston or for Detroit. I'm looking for a 3-down edge. I'm looking for somebody who's not just a situational pass rusher, and Darius Robinson gives you that. And I don't think there's that big of a talent drop off between the two.
Not gonna lie, I definitely would have went Nate Wiggins since they just lost their best corner, but
Yeah, but they just made a bunch of signings at corner. They traded for Carlton Davis. They added Emmanuel Mosley. They added Amik Robertson.
Mosley was there
like,
last year because they added him last year. They just kept him.
That's true. So they
And
kept
he wasn't
Mosley.
good.
Apologies. Well, either
But
way,
I'm down with their secondary staying bad because
I'm more worried about their pass rush personally. I think solidifying that secondary is a couple pieces away. That pass rush is a piece away. So I think you're better off just to solidify the part, like really solidify your identity. Plus, they're the Lions. They're a team that's going to want to build through the trenches.
that's fair.
So now that your trenches are solidified, you can worry about the secondary later.
Well, Buffalo's decision's a little easier now, so they'll just take Brian Thomas.
Yurt.
He makes a ton of sense for them. Now, oh God, I have 3 picks in a row. That's awful.
Well, 2. We're only doing. Oh, actually, yeah, 3.
I
'cause
traded
Buffalo
out with
counts.
the Bengals. So yeah. I see what you were saying.
Well, I was thinking Buffalo didn't count.
So the Bengals could still go receiver. They could go a couple different ways. But I think the Bengals might trade out again.
With whom?
We were talking about this earlier on the team that I think is most likely to come back into the first to draft a quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
I think the New York Football Giants call up the Bengals. Say you just
Okay.
gotta move down a couple picks here. You know,
You
just
got to move down.
quite a ways. What the fuck?
actually-
Why is their second so late? What the hell did the
Yeah,
Giants?
you're moving down 16
It's not
picks.
their second.
Yeah, because remember they traded that for Brian Burns.
Yeah, that's the Seahawks' second. But either
Yeah.
way, you offer some stuff. The Bengals go, okay. And the trade gets rejected because this tool is fucking ridiculous. I'm not going to lie.
True.
I'm just offering their entire this draft and their entire next draft. I don't care. Just give me the stupid fucking pick.
I got it.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh, well, I
You
will just
continue
keep
yapping. I gotta take
yapping.
a phone call.
Michael Penix Jr., You are a New York Football Giant. I don't like Penix particularly. I think the entire world knows this. He is too much of a, I don't know, his mechanics are bad. He folds under pressure. He looks afraid. And like CJ Stroud, his biggest moment is going to drop his value where Stroud's lifted him up. He is the reverse CJ Stroud. But the Giants needed a quarterback, and this is a guy who can come in and actually compete to try to be a starter for you. Now, moving on to my last pick, you have the Chiefs. And they're going to take Spencer Rattler. No. I genuinely see a couple spots they could go. I think Chop is more interesting for them. I'm kind of waiting for Miller to come back so I can yap at him, but it's okay. Oh my God, why? Just fucking go then, moron. Good God. I gotta walk away. I gotta want to walk. Just go. But I could see Chop Robinson, another edge, another pass rusher that can really help what is now the Chiefs' identity as a truly awesome defensive team. I think you could also see them go with some form of receiver. I think Nate Wiggins also makes some sense. Finally, goodness. So I'm discussing the Chiefs. Geek discusses Chiefs. Chop Robinson is interesting. Because again, but they did go rotational edge guy in Felix Anadike-Uzomah last year. So that's interesting. We don't know what's happening with L'Jarius Sneed. So that kind of means corner is on the table. Yeah, they just signed Hollywood Brown, but I mean, a wide receiver 3 never hurt nobody. So
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just talking over options here. I just want to get your opinion. I want to hear where your little brain is.
I'd just take Ladd and reap the benefits,
Right.
personally.
See, so I'm stuck on Ladd, Chop, and Nate Wiggins.
I think Ladd's a better prospect than the other two.
See, I get that, and like, dude, their receiving core is Rashee Rice, he good. Hollywood Brown's good at a role.
And he gives you something you don't have, too.
Yeah.
Like, Rashee Rice is more of your
He's going to end up being their true X.
I don't know about that, because he's not really like a downfield. See, okay, actually, I'm changing my mind now. Okay, Hollywood Brown is your downfield threat, right? Your field stretcher. You've got Rashee Rice, who's more of like a yak guy.
Sure.
And then you can go out and add Keon Coleman to be your true X.
You started saying Xavier a minute ago, so I thought you were going to say Xavier Worthy. I was like, he's just Hollywood.
No. Keon Coleman would be a great fit here.
Okay. I don't hate
Hollywood
that either.
gives you your speed, and then you have Rashee in the slot, and Keon Coleman could be your true X, your downfield dominant type of guy that's good on 50-50 balls.
I like that. We'll go Keon. There you go. We had to talk through it. Keon Coleman. Yeah. He is your chief.
Which means, let's see here. Who didn't go in the first round that maybe should have? You got Wiggins, Robinson, Ladd.
I kind of think that all kind of makes sense, though. Those are all guys I could see dropping. Nobody really surprised me falling.
Yeah.
Like, Chop, kind of, but also I could just see it.
Yeah.
Like, the guys that are surprising is that they fell as far as they did. Verse going to 28 is a little nuts. But it also makes sense.
Miscalculation on our part.
No,
I don't know. I think Verse should go higher than that.
Well, should he? Maybe. But also, when you're looking at, I know, best player available, but that's not always a thing you want to do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The 49ers don't need Jared Verse. That's not a smart pick. Like, best player available works unless it's just not smart. Like, I'm trying to think of other teams that Jared Verse like just doesn't make sense for. But there are a couple places he could have went, obviously. But
yeah,
I know picking for need never works. A lot of NFL teams just pick for need. If there's a guy there that you can argue for picking for need for, I don't think taking my brain is like fried.
Spencer Rattler, if all the quarterbacks are gone by the time someone gets there.
Yeah, that doesn't make picking for need.
Reaching
but
for
like
Jatavion Sanders in the first round.
Right. But like taking Kool-Aid over Jared Verse because Kool-Aid fills a bigger need makes sense. Taking Graham Barton over Jared Verse, I think still makes sense.
Yeah,
that's a bigger need. And both guys are good. The only place that I could see the argument that was a mistake is like Minnesota. But Byron Murphy is also incredible and fits the bigger need. So I do think there will be some guys who fall. And the Broncos are already the team overdrafting their guy like mad.
Yeah. Also, to be totally transparent, I do think in real life the edge rusher that would probably fall would be Latu because of the medicals. But, given that I don't give
realistically, Verse probably ends up as a Bear in this world where Dallas Turner goes to the Falcons.
I don't know, because Verse is kind of just a second Montez Sweat, just less athletic. So I don't know if they'd want two Tezes.
Why not? What's wrong with two Tezes?
I don't know. Maybe that's just the way I think, because I don't want two guys that have the exact same or very similar skill sets in positions where you have more than one guy. I like, the Shanahan, I know it's not his originally, but he talks about it and preaches it pretty consistently. The Shanahan idea of building a receiver room like a basketball team where everybody complements each other perfectly and can exist on the court, on the field at the same time and not like steal away from each other. I look at that the same way with running backs, with corners, with tight ends, with edge rushers, with linebackers. You want guys that
I think
do
about it in
different
a lot of
things.
places except for edge. If you're using them as a true edge, then I just want guys who win, and I don't care how they do it.
I suppose that's fair. Maybe I'm overthinking it with edge a little bit.
I get it for receiver,
complain.
and I really get it for running back. Like, I don't want, Ramondre Stevenson, Alexander Madison, and David Montgomery in my backfield. That's too similar.
Yeah,
I want
like
Monty
Josh
and
Jacobs
Jameer
and AJ Dillon.
Yeah,
in
like
the
that's
same
gross.
Backfield. Imagine that.
Like,
imagine being dumb enough to do that.
Some good old Packers slander. An hour and a half in.
But yeah, no, I will say, I would not complain in the slightest that the Bears did take Verse at 9. In fact, I would have a Verse jersey probably pretty quickly.
Sure. I
love
am
Verse.
struggling with if I'll buy a jersey of JJ McCarthy. I can't decide.
I mean, I know I'm buying a Caleb jersey.
So here's my issue. The last time I owned a Viking quarterback jersey, I bought a Teddy Bridgewater jersey. And then a week later, his knee exploded. So I'm a little afraid to buy a quarterback jersey.
Maybe what you should do is hope the Vikings draft a quarterback without knees.
See, what I'm hoping for is that Ivan Pace just fucking switches his jersey number already so I can buy a jersey.
What's his jersey number right now? It's like 40, right?
Yeah.
That's silly.
All because Marcus never played a down. Davenport took 0. I'm still offended by that.
What if JJ McCarthy takes 0?
He can't. Quarterback can't wear 0.
That's right. I'm so glad that's a thing.
Yeah. No.
Like 0 on any other position, I'm with it. Quarterback or lineman, no.
Yeah. Anywhere on defense, except for, I guess, defensive tackle, I'm with it.
Yeah, skill position guys.
But like edge, I'm cool with it. Linebacker, cool with it. I think
that's like
fullback in 0. Thoughts?
No.
I think it could go hard.
No, fullback has to wear between 20 and 49.
Give
Anywhere
me Juice in 0.
If he did it, then he would start a wave. But like,
right. CJ Ham just looks too good in 30. That's also like
I was
always
gonna say 44 is like an iconic fullback number.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
Anything in the 40s is right.
I think trying to think. The guys that I think could try to steal Zero from Ivan Pace is Shaq, who we just signed. With Zero being open and Shaq just signing, he wore Zero for the Texans when he last played. So I really hope he doesn't, though, and I hope he takes... I don't know. To me, corners gotta wear numbers in the 20s. Like,
I can get behind single digits for corners.
It depends on the
teens,
digit.
it's gross.
It depends on the single digit. I don't think a corner can look good in 9 or 8. I think it's got to be 5 and under for a corner. Or
6 and under.
Actually, 8 works. 8 can work. Who's the Michigan guy? Sandrestrel. Yeah.
Sandrestrel. I've never learned how to... Okay, yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm just...
Is the R first? Let's look at the...
Dude, I don't know.
Sandrestrel. Sandrestrel?
I got
Sainristil. Sandrestrel? Let's Google it.
I don't know, man. He's the type of guy I want the Vikings to take later in the draft.
Sainristil. Sainristil.
I did a draft.
It's Haitian?
What?
His name is Haitian?
Huh, okay.
I didn't know that. That's how it's coming up on how to pronounce. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyways, continue.
I did a mock draft for the Vikings because I'll just sit here and do them.
I'll be damned.
I'll just sit here
from Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
I'll just sit here and do them when I'm bored, and it was a really weird way that the board fell. We got Jaden Daniels at 11. What? What is your deal?
That's tough. Sandrerstil, fun fact, he was born in Haiti, and then his father was the newsroom director at a radio station and received threats after the 2000 Haitian presidential election, which resulted in his family fleeing from Haiti when he was 7 months old and moving to Everett, Massachusetts.
Nice. That's very different place.
Yeah. And also, I always forget he played receiver at first and then moved to corner in 2022.
So he's just Trayvon Diggs, but better.
Perhaps with more Riz, maybe. Same Riz still. Fuck.
But I did a weird mock draft for the Vikings where I just kept like doing them and just letting the board fall. I kept not trading up because it wouldn't let you trade up with the Patriots. Basically, it's just like you give them the 3 firsts, and it's just like no. Give them 3 firsts, a third, and 2 sevenths, and it's like no. It's like okay, I'm not giving more than that. That's ridiculous.
Fine, take Justin Jefferson.
No, God no. But I was just like, I'll just wait until 11 and see what happens. And Jaden Daniels fell.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then Byron Murphy was there.
Okay.
And then fucking brain. Trey Benson was there in the 3rd round.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, we're just going to do the Dalvin Cook thing again.
Did they go to the same school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Florida State.
I didn't know Dalvin Cook went to Florida State. I'm not very good with colleges outside of like the last couple of years.
And then it just kept being like guys who shouldn't be there kept being there. And it was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was like,
they
dude,
pitied you for spending so much time on the
maybe.
simulator.
And all I could think about was, dude, if the draft fell this way, it's over for the league. I don't care, dude. We're taking guys in the 7th round who should, in my brain, should be like 3rd rounders. I'm so here for it. Give me it.
Circle back to the number thing and get out of La Fantasy Land over here.
I like number thing. Numbers are La Fantasy Land. What are you talking about?
True. Did you see what DeAndre Swift's wearing?
4.
Yeah. Because George McCaskey said no Bears player will ever be allowed to wear 0.
That's boring and lame, and he's a shitty person.
It's weird that he cares that much. Like, I don't know. I get it. You want to be traditional. They used to wear 0 and 00 back in the day. Like, what's the difference? If you want to be traditional, let DJ Moore wear fucking 47 like our all-time leading receiver did because he was a flanker. But no, I think 4 goes hard, and also I'm glad that someone fun is wearing 4 because that means Eddie Jackson can be wiped out of my memory quicker. What?
Shaq Thompson,
Uh-huh.
whose Twitter handle is Shaq Thompson 7,
Uh-huh.
is changing his number to 54.
Yeah, that's what he wore to start his career.
Why?
No, maybe he missed 54.
Ridiculous. Moro Ajomo is now wearing 97.
Okay.
Jarrett Stidham switching to number 8. Will Lutz is switching to number 3. Demario Douglas is switching to number 3. Sorry, you got me distracted looking at numbers now.
Yeah, Pop Douglas switching to 3 is pretty cool.
The entire Cardinals roster is changing their number.
Oh.
Jesus. Alex Madison's going back to wearing 25. KJ Osborne's going to wear 2.
Yeah, he's a Patriot. We forgot to mention that.
Yeah, Patriot. Number 2 is weird. Jalen Reagor's going to wear 1, so the Vikings are 1 and 2 on the Patriots. I don't know. I saw every number that somebody has picked for after signing with the Vikings has been really weird. Kirk Cousins is wearing 18, and I hate it.
Yeah. What happened there? What are we doing with Kyle Pitts?
I'm more confused. No, I totally understand that. Do you know how much it would have cost Kirk? Outside of just like a donation to Kyle Pitts' charity or whatever. Because remember, to change your jersey number, you have to either give a year of notice, which Kyle Pitts didn't do, or you have to buy out all of your jerseys at full price. Do you know how? That's probably a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
So Cuzzo was probably like, no, I'm good. My question is, why didn't he just pick 12, which is what he wore when he came into the league?
He thinks he's Peyton.
Devin Singletary thinks he's Saquon.
Is he wearing 26?
Yeah.
That's so gross and borderline disrespectful.
I love it, though. Josh Jacobs isn't taking 28 back. He's letting A.J. Dillon have it, so he's wearing 8. Andrew Van Ginkel makes sense. He picked 43. That's what he wore before. I'm fine with that. Blake Cashman picked 53, I want to say.
Pretty sure that's what he wore.
No, he picked 51.
Well, he wears... or he wore 53 in Houston.
And then Jonathan Grenard picked 58 when he wore 52. And
is 52 not available?
I think it is. Like, I don't... Part of me wonders if they're all just
he
like...
He wore 58 in college.
Maybe it does make sense.
Yeah, Grenard wore 58 in college at Florida and at whatever school he started with, because it looks like he started... No, that's just a Florida... Oh, that's a Reese's Bowl jersey. Okay, yeah. He wore 58 at Florida.
Okay.
That's all that is.
Still feels weird.
I like guys going back to their
college
numbers.
Cashman could have had any number he wanted, basically. 55 and 56 are the only numbers in the 50s that are gone. Andre Carter and Garrett Bradbury.
51 I can't answer because he wore 36 in college, which I'm glad he's sticking in the 50s and being a linebacker, not a loser.
Now, you know what he should have done?
If you wear a number in the 30s as a linebacker, you're not real.
He should have picked a number 1.
Why?
So that our linebackers could just be 0 and 1. Since there's no 00 option.
Yeah. Or he could have just worn 53 like he's always worn.
Yeah, I don't know why he went 51. That's very confusing.
Maybe he likes the number more.
See, and part of me always wonders if it's the way the Vikings font is, because that weird, like the first number having that little, like, arrow thing coming off of it, maybe that makes players change their number just based off how it looks.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's a picture of a Vikings player wearing the number 53.
I can't think of the Vikings player 53.
Tingelhoff. Tingelhoff.
Well, that's too long ago.
I know, but I just looked up Vikings number 53, and Mick Tingelhoff is the first person that came up.
Valid, though. That's like a good answer. But yeah, I got no idea. I couldn't tell you anybody wearing 53. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone wear 53 for the Vikings.
What about 51? What's that look like in your
That's
font?
Ben Lieber, but that was pre this jersey style.
Yeah. Oh, here. There's one. I see one. 51 looks kind of cold.
Right? Like, it doesn't look... That's why I said. I wonder if it's just because of how it looks.
Benton Whitley and also Wyatt Davis. And Hercules Mataafa, Edmund Robinson.
Hercules, my goat.
Josh Cotto, Larry Dean, and then Ben Lieber, but that's before. Oh. You know what really grinds my gears if we're talking about numbers? Did you peep what Gerald Everett's wearing?
Oh, yeah. That I love that the Bears' backup tight ends refuse to be normal. I think it's great.
Wore 7 in LA. 7 seems to be his number that he wants.
Who wears 7 for the Bears?
It's retired.
Is it at least
George
retired?
Halas.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
He did. George Halas did play for the Bears.
Okay.
And they retired it because that was the number he wore.
I don't like that.
And that's the one. Like, that's been a big discussion on Bears Twitter as of late. Is should we unretire numbers, because we've got 3, 5, and 7 all retired. And George Halas is the one where I can be like, listen, you've got GSH on the jersey sleeve for his name, George Stanley Halas.
Yeah.
I can get behind unretiring 7.
Yeah.
Right? Is that his? Was it Stanley? Pretty sure it was Stanley.
Also, my question is, why did the Vikings sign Shaq Griffin?
Stanley. Yeah. Why did the Vikings sign Shaq Griffin?
Like, Xavier Howard has talked about how much he loves Brian Flores. If we're just going to sign an old corner who's not as good as he used to be, why not Xavier Howard?
Maybe X is ready to hang it up.
No, I don't think so.
Hey, I know why you haven't seen a Viking wear the number 53.
Oh, is it retired?
It is retired for Mick Tingelhoff.
Yeah, so I was just going to look up Vikings retired numbers because I genuinely have no idea.
You have no idea. If you had to guess, you've got
obviously
1, 2,
10.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Obviously 10. Obviously 53 because you just told me.
So there's 4 more.
Alan Page has to be, but I can't.
Yep, 88.
Yeah, because 88, 77 maybe for Jim Marshall.
Corey Stringer.
Oh, fuck.
Corey Stringer.
Wrong one. Is Jim Marshall's number retired then?
Yes.
Okay. My brain can't remember numbers from players I didn't watch.
Do you want me to tell you what number he wore?
Yes.
He wore 70. So you weren't far off.
Okay.
You had the right idea.
Okay. Well, it's the Purple People Eaters, which means there's one more in that group, right?
Nope, not a Purple People Eater is the other one.
Well, there's, what, 3 more?
1 more.
Oh.
Tarkenton, Tingelhoff, Marshall, Stringer, this guy, and Alan Page are your 6.
This guy. Chris Carter? No, 80.
Yeah,
is
Chris
it
Carter.
really?
80.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm down.
Yeah.
And
then the Bears have like 15 fucking numbers
I'm
retired.
a weirdo. I want 28 retired.
I don't think that's weird. I think that's justified.
Right? Like, there's not many numbers. Everybody's like, retire 84 for Randy. Randy wasn't there that long. But Adrian Peterson carried that team for years. We're still playing in the house. Remember, Lucas Oil Stadium's the house that Peyton Manning built. U.S. Bank is the house that Adrian Peterson built. And only got to play in like 3 times. Very unfortunate.
That's like, people bitch about the Bears having so many retired numbers. I think they should have more.
Right?
I think Urlacher, Singletary, Dent should all be retired.
And 22 absolutely has to be with 2 names after Harry hangs it up. Because Paul Krause was incredible. Paul Krause is the all-time.
Paul Krause
I think it was retired. And Krause let Harry have it.
Which would make a lot of sense.
Which means it'll be retired again, just with both names, which I like a ton. Because that's the other thing that happened. Harrison Smith restructured his deal to take less money again. That dude is loyal to the soil, and it's just the most incredible thing.
Yeah.
Especially if he's gonna cost money, I'm down to keep him on the team forever. Play here until you want to be done. I don't care. And then when you want to be done, you want to coach, you can be our new defensive coordinator when Brian leaves.
That's like, speaking of coaching, guess who's trying to throw his name in the ring to be a Bears coach at some point?
Matt Forte.
I wish. No, Kyle Long.
Oh, okay. That
He
also
said
works.
He knows he can't play anymore. Like, he's pretty much accepted that he can't. But he did say that he would love to be back in Chicago in some capacity, but most likely as a coach. Which he joked. There was a big thing that Olin Kreutz, he said that the Bears offered him $15 an hour to be an offensive line coach, and Kyle Long said he wouldn't even ask for that much, being funny. But I would give him whatever he wanted to be an assistant offensive line coach.
That's fair. I'm trying to think of anybody else on the Vikings who deserves a retired number, but I can't give it to Randy. Maybe you do a combo John Randall, Kevin Williams, and get rid of 93. I think the combos make more sense. But also, it also becomes a thing of, like, some players, like Michael Irvin, don't want their number retired. They're like, because once you retire the number, you know, you have your day, you get your round of applause, and then nobody talks about it again. But every time CD Lamb's out there wearing 88, you get the, well, that looks like Michael Irvin. Or when he drops a pass, you go, well, Michael wouldn't have dropped that. And your name's always in conversation. And I kind of like that.
There's some people that make that argument that teams shouldn't retire numbers. It's just, if you were a legend, if a player wears your number, they have to wear a patch on their jersey that, like, commemorates you.
I like that.
I do, but I also.
But then what happens when it's like number 22 for the Vikings and Lewis Seen starts wearing it? Do you have to have a PK and HS patch? And then what happens when Lewis Seen becomes a Hall of Famer? Does the next guy have to have 4 patches? Like, how does this work?
Right, because there's that, and then also, I would cry if I saw a Bears player wearing 34 or 51. Like, that's not right. No. They're not supposed to. No one else can have those numbers.
Oh, dude,
but I've
when fucking George Ioka wore 28, I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah.
But AP like, was still in the league, so couldn't do anything about that.
Right. So you see things like, for the Bears, for example, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 numbers retired.
Damn.
So it's like, I kind of get it, because so you've got 3, 5, 7, 28, 34, 40, 41, 42, 51, 56, 61, 66, 77, and 89 all retired. So for some of that, I can see it like, yeah, you're kind of limiting quarterbacks because they can't pick 3, 5, or 7. But if I saw a Bears player wearing 3 with how much I love Bronco Nagurski, I would hate them. I would resent them. Or like if I saw a linebacker try to wear 51, it would be disgusting. If I saw a tight end try to wear 89 from Mike Ditka,
who the hell gets number 13?
For Chicago? I think they're going to give it to Keenan.
Really?
I think that's what's going to happen.
I almost wouldn't, because I can almost guarantee Keenan's only there for a year.
I think Keenan's going to be there longer than a year. I think they're going to extend him by training camp. They're going to extend him by training camp. They've already been in talks about extending him.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel about extending him at his age.
It'll be cheap.
Will it? He's coming off the best year of his career. Will it?
You'll be probably paying him as much as Jerry Jeudy's getting paid.
Well, I'm down for that.
And I think that is more than worth it.
What happens when you're paying him 18, 19, 20?
I don't think all that will happen. But no, I kind of think they're going to give it to Keenan, and I think Caleb's going to wear 1.
Ew.
Or I could, as much as I hate to admit it, people have also pointed out that Caleb Williams' favorite player of all time wore 12.
That's
and I could see him wearing 12 and then like reversing the juju.
Ew, I want to see it, but ew.
Maybe that's the key to the Bears' curse.
Caleb wore 18 in high school.
No, dude. 18 is only meant for guys like, if you're a quarterback that moves in any way, shape, or form and you wear 18, you have no drip.
See, but Caleb has drip.
Yeah, but 18. No, I like 13 for Caleb because it's original.
Right.
Like what other historic quarterback wore 13? Like let's look that
Brock
up.
Purdy.
Okay.
Dan Marino.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got Marino. He's the only one.
I don't know if that's true, but maybe.
Double checking.
Caleb was also given 9 when he initially got to Oklahoma.
That kind of goes crazy. No, Brisker's got 9. I don't think they're going to be able to strip that from Kurt Warner.
Good God, the Bears are just the worst.
Bears legend Jumbo Joe Steinahar.
We're 4. Nope, DeAndre Swift just took that.
I just want to point out notable players who wore the number 13 on NFL.com. 2 of the 7 played for the Bears.
Nice.
Jumbo Joe Steinahar, former offensive tackle, which is gross. Then also George Trafton, who I believe was an offensive lineman.
Let's see. Who are you? Kurt Warner. We're 13.
Yeah, I said Kurt. Yeah.
Did you? I zoned you out.
He was a center. Yeah.
We did a
George
great
Trafton was
job
center.
extending this to 2 hours for no reason. We were done half an hour ago.
So let's see here. Easiest way
Caleb
to do this.
Williams, give in number 19. Let's do it.
No. That's a receiver number.
Bernie Kosar and Johnny Unitas would like a word. Got you there.
I didn't hear what you said.
Bernie Kosar and Johnny Unitas would like a word.
I like Johnny Unitas.
Caleb Williams rocks the number 17.
Kind of cold. Kind of cold.
Maybe he'll go 10. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna wrap up there, I think. So
well, hold on.
Me and Miller can keep yapping. Dude, suddenly this is gonna be a 4-hour show. Come on.
Oh, it is? Okay.
I mean,
didn't realize.
We extended it by 31 minutes after the end of the draft.
I didn't realize
already.
we'd be yapping for 30 minutes.
We're already over the 2-hour mark. We were done with the draft at an hour 30.
I didn't realize.
We've been yapping.
I didn't realize.
So what do you want? Say it.
I was just gonna look at the numbers and see which one I like for Caleb. I think 13. I think they got to give it to him.
Right? Keenan, what did he wear in college? Oh, Keenan's gonna be gross. I remember that he wore 21 in college.
No, dude, that's what I was just about to say. Tyler Scott's gonna switch to 21 because that's what he wore in college.
Nah, Keenan's getting 21, dog.
No, I think Keenan will wear something drippy in the teens.
Keenan actually might be the type of guy to go 1. I'd be more down for him in 1 for sure. I don't know.
What if Caleb went like 11?
Setting him up to be Carson Wentz. Let's go.
So you're rooting for his downfall?
No, actually. He'll have an MVP year, his knee will explode, and then he'll never be the same guy.
So you're rooting for Caleb Williams to have a career-ending injury?
No. I am. I don't.
You are? You are?
No, you got to let me finish my sentence. You don't get to cut me off. That's not how this works.
Anyways, guys, this has been
That's not how this works.
Week. I hope you all enjoy.
You do. I end the recording. I can sit here all day.
I was trying.
No, I hate that Caleb Williams is about to be a Bear. Because I have to hate him, but I also can't hate him because then I'd just look like a piece of shit. Also, I love Caleb. Like, I have every excuse in the world to hate Caleb. He's about to be the quarterback for a team I don't like and despise and is a rival. And just like many a quarterback before him, I still have to like him. And that's why I so badly want Minnesota to get Drake May, so you have to like our quarterback. Them's the rules.
No, I would so quick switch up on Drake May.
No, you wouldn't.
I do not have enough loyalty to Carolina football to not be able to switch up on him.
I think you just have enough loyalty to Drake May. You tried to pretend he was better than Caleb for 6 months.
I tried to pretend.
You're trying to pretend.
Yeah, just like you pretend that you have friends.
Got more friends than you, bozo.
On what, Fortnite?
Everywhere.
Name 6.
Wonder Square. No, I mean Wonder, Anthony, Hero, Jedi, Artie, other Artie. Should I keep going?
These are all fake names.
No. Well, I mean, all of our names are fake. You call me Geek,
Exactly.
I call you.
Checkmate.
Bro, your name is
Checkmate.
Miller Football. You just think you're a ball. That's checkmate. Miller is
I'm
a
built
ball.
like one.
That's not a brag.
It's not a brag. It's a self-burn, and
All
those
right,
are rare.
Not around here, they're not. All right. Thank you,
You didn't
everybody,
get
for
my
watching. Make
reference.
sure you. Oh, I did.
Did
I
you?
used that reference more than you ever have thought
I'm
about.
sure you do. Okay,
Actually.
that feels like a you reference.
Because I always do the self burn. Those are rare, and then I go, well, not around here though,
Oh, I see. I see.
because self burns. But yeah, thank you to everybody for watching. This has been Geek and Miller yap for way too long at the end. Make sure to subscribe and beg Jake to come back and keep us in check. But also don't, because he's going to cry about Drew Lock again. And that's something. I'm sorry. That's a weird guy to be obsessed with. Oh, God, the Pokeball. There's nothing in it because you forgot. He has to check.
What's in it?
What the fuck is that?
I just gotta find out.
No, you have to say it, dude. We gotta go. I don't have
It's-
time for this.
It's a pocket knife.
Oh, well, that's illegal.
No, it's not.
Here's a box cutter.
That's
Ah.
illegal.
No, it's sharper than yours.
I mean, it might be. This is a pretty dull pocket knife. It's a display one, not like a.
Also, I got a
Usable
couple butter knives here from when I was eating earlier.
I've got my real pocket knife in my wallet. This is my display pocket knife. It's like engraved.
You want a spoon?
Anyways, end episode. Get your spoon out of here and end the episode.
I got a
You gotta go
spoon.
play darts.
That I do. So yeah, thank you to everybody who came, showed up, watched. Make sure to leave it a like, subscribe, all that bullshit. I don't know. Miller, say goodbye.
Adios, mi amigos and amigas.
Bye.